When we are collecting the information, we should know what type of a method we are using to collect the information. The research must be systematic and not haphazard. So, whenever you are conducting research, it should be done in a systematic manner and not in a haphazard manner. When we are undertaking research, the first thing is we should know clearly what is the objective of the research. Hello, my dear students. I'm Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. In this session 2, we will be having a discussion on the nature and scope of business research. Now, let us see what this session holds for us. Here, first we look into the definition of business research. So, according to McDaniel and Gates, business research is the planning, collection and analysis of data relevant to the business decision making and the communication of the results of this analysis to management. Now, actually, we are just looking into the definition of business research. Now, what do we mean by business research? Business research means it is the planning. So, you have to plan from where you are collecting the information. So, you have to decide what is your source of information. So, and then how you go about collecting it. So, all this comes in the planning stage. Then, second one is collection. So, you actually go and collect the information from the source and analysis of data. So, once you collect the information, then you study the information you have collected, analyze the data, whatever you have collected, then data relevant to the decision making. So, whatever data is necessary, you collect the data, make a study and just see what is relevant for the decision making. So, for example, if you want to increase the demand for your product, then you have to see what is the source of information you need. So, what are the things which will just increase the demand for the product and what are the things the people or consumers are expecting from your product, that you have to think, and based on this you have to just collect, you have to decide what is the data you have to collect from the source. Now, when you are planning it in such a way, what are the questions you have to ask and what is the information you need to collect, only then you can say that your research will become a success. So, whatever the results have come from the research, so that will help you in decision making. So, in other words, business research will help us in decision making. So, whatever information you have collected from the source, so you have, when you study it, you will find answers to your problems or you will know what is the decision you have to take, and communication of the results of this analysis to management. So, whatever information you have collected from the public, so that you have to send it to the management. In other words, so you are just collecting the information, studying it and passing on the result to the management. So, it is they who will decide what is the next course of action to be taken. Now, according to Zygmunt, it is a management tool that companies use to reduce uncertainty. So, we all know that the business environment is very, very uncertain. So, to reduce this uncertainty, we are making use of this business research. So, it is a tool used by the management to reduce uncertainty. In other words, you try to just feel what are the changes going around you, and you know in advance what will be the changes for the next 1 or 2 months, and then you try to adjust yourself for the changes around in the business environment. So, it is a manager's source of information about organizational and environmental conditions. So, the manager should know what are the changes which are going in the organization and what are the good changes going on in the environment, and covers topics ranging from long range planning to the most ephemeral tactical decisions. So, we have to just see what are the topics. That is, so whenever you are undertaking the business research, we should know that it is about the collection of the information relating to the organization, relating to the environment, and it will cover all the topics ranging from long range planning. So if you are planning for the next 10 to 15 years, so what is the kind of information you need? Or if you are planning for the next move of the competitor, so the competitor has taken a big decision, so what will be your next move? So whatever you call it as the tactical plans, so even for that also this business research will help us. Or in other words, this business research is there for helping the management to take long-term decisions. So this is the definition of business research. Now let us go deeper into the definition. So it is a systematic and objective process of gathering, recording and analyzing data for decision making. So when you say that business research is collecting information, it does not mean you just go everywhere, go around asking everybody for questions and collect the information. No, that is not the way. So it is a systematic. So you should behave in a systematic manner. First, you identify who are the respondents and how qualified the respondent is in answering your questions. So first, you have to make a list of respondents and what are the answers, questions you have to ask, what is the information you need to collect from them. Only then you can make a success out of the business research. So it is a systematic and objective process. So always research is done with an objective of getting results. So it should be an objective process of gathering. So you collect the information from everybody, then recording. So you record the information and analyze the data. You study the data for decision making. So the research must be systematic and not haphazard. So whenever you are conducting research, it should be done in a systematic manner and not in a haphazard manner. Then it must be objective. Now, what do we mean by objective? So, you should know exactly what is the objective of the research. So, only then you can say that the research is a success, to avoid distorting the effects of personal bias. So, you should know what is the objective, and then if you don't know what is the objective, then the research may be biased. So, in order to avoid this personal bias, you should know actually what is the objective of research. So, applied research aims to facilitate managerial decision making. So, what is applied research? So, whatever the findings of the research, you apply it into your day-to-day life. That is what we mean by applied research. So, applied research will help in managerial decision making. On the other hand, basis or pure research is used to test and build specific theories and concepts. So, applied research means it is usually business research is nothing but applied research. But there are researches which are going on in case of pure sciences, or suppose you want to find a remedy for a certain disease. So, what are the findings? So, what is the research which is undergoing there? So, that we call it as the pure, or that is the pure or the basic research, what we call. So, that is scientific research which is going on to find new discoveries and new inventions. So, those we call it as the pure research, and those research which are done which helps in decision making of the business, that we call it as the business research. And pure research also helps in building up specific theories and concepts. So, we now have the concept of artificial intelligence. Now, how have we evolved with it? It is only because of the research which is going on in the field of robotics or in the field of computers. So, all this research will help in building specific theories and also the concepts. Now, the next, let us look into what is the nature of the research. So, in this, the first one is clearly defined objectives. So, when we are undertaking research, the first thing is we should know clearly what is the objective of the research. Good business research should clearly define the objective. It should know in advance what information it wants to procure. So whenever the business is undertaking research, it should clearly define the objective. It should know in advance what information it wants to procure. Then second one is choose the right methodology. So what is the methodology here? It is the method used for obtaining business research data. So what is this business research data? So as I had explained you previously, business research is nothing but collection of information. It is a systematic and planned collection of information relating to a particular problem. So when we are collecting the information, we should know what type of a method we are using to collect the information. So business research methodologies include phone, mail and internet surveys as well as personal interviews. So when we are collecting information from the public, so we should know what kind of method, through which method you are making use of, whether you are making use of the phone or whether you are having your collection through the mail, or whether you are having an internet survey or a personal interview. So that we have to decide. So mail intercept studies are another type of methodology where researchers talk to consumers in stores. So mail intercept studies means, so through intercepting the mails, you will be having a survey where the researchers will talk to the customers in the stores. So in this way, there are various methods of collecting the information. Then third one is promoting the business. So objective of any business research should be how to better promote the business in an economically sound manner and to increase the business's net profit, exposure and ensure its continuity. So we should know that the business research is always done to promote the business. Now how do we promote the business? So it should be in a economically sound manner. So you should know that business promotion is important, yes, but then it should be economically feasible for the business. So we have to do the business research, and so through this business research, we should be able to increase the net profit of the business, the exposure of the business, that is the business, whatever the products are there, it should be given a wide exposure, and it should also ensure the continuity of the business. The business should be there for a very long time. So that is what we have to do. So that kind of information we have to collect to ensure that there is longevity of the business. Then covers region in which business operates. So it covers all the regions in which the business operates locally and internationally. So whenever you are undertaking research, you should know that what are the regions where the business is operating, whether it is operating in a local market or whether it is operating in an international market. So if it has an international market, you should see that your area of research will be covered internationally. Setting up a hotel means knowing local conditions such as attractions and competing establishments, but also problems such as crime or obtaining the supplies. Now, for example, you want to open a hotel. So, if you have to start a hotel, you should know actually what are the local conditions, what kind of a people are residing in that area. So, whether it is the high income group, middle income group or the low income group, and then you have to also know what are the competing establishments in and around that area, and then also you should also have a thought for the crime rate in that area. So in this way, when you analyze the environment of that particular area, you will be able to know whether you need to start a hotel in that area or not. Next, judging the problems. So another characteristic of good business research is judging local problems of the environment in which our establishment is going to operate. So you have to judge the problem. So what kind of problems are there in the environment in which the business is operating? So this becomes very, very important, because whatever problems are faced by in that businesses of that particular area, the same kind of a problem may be faced by this new business also. So you should be in a better position to know that this problem may come to your business also, and you should know ways and means to find a solution to that particular problem. Next one is flexibility. One most characteristic of good business research objective is flexibility. The research may be programmed for one area and then something shows up. So when the research is being programmed for one area and you see that one new issue is coming up, then what should you do? If that something is pertinent, it should be investigated and included in the research. So the new issue which is coming up, that should be investigated and it should also be included in the research. So the research is discovering new things and factors. It should not be easily sidetracked, but it should not be flexible. So when this new thing comes up, we should see that it is investigated and it should be included in the research. And when this new thing comes up, we should know that the original issue should not be sidetracked as such. Then next one is help determine how to produce the product. So good business research should include the use of the internet. If the business is manufacturing a specific product, look at the market size and options on how to produce the product. This is a part of knowing who the competitor is, but slightly different, as it is helps to best determine how to produce the product. So help determine how to produce the product. So the good research should include the use of the internet. So whenever you are doing a research, you should use it you should make use of the internet. So if the business is manufacturing a specific product, look at the market size and options on how to produce the product. So you should look at the market size for the product. So what kind of a market size you have, whether you can sell daily 10,000 units or 1 lakh units of the product, or whether you can just sell only 100 units of the product. So this is a part of knowing who the competitor is, but slightly different, as it helps to best determine how to produce the product. So you should know how to produce the product also. So this we can do with the help of the internet. Then next, let us look into the importance of business research. Now, in this importance, the first one is estimating the expenses. Now, what I mean by estimating the expenses? Now, when you have decided to undertake the business research, then the first thing will be, what is the expenses you need? So, what will be the expenditure you will be undertaking in order to conduct the business research? So why do we need expenses? So you need so many surveyors who will be collecting the information. So you need to pay them. Then once the information is collected, it has to be recorded. And once the information is recorded, then you have to use the statistical tools. So for all this, you have to hire people who need to collect the information, who are there to store the information and also analyze the information. So there are statisticians who will analyze the information and give you the result. So all this involves lot of expenses, and then you have to just estimate what is the kind of expenses you need to undertake in order to conduct this business research. Then next one is price determination. So in this price determination, so we should also know that we can do business research and then determine the prices of the products. So what is the price you need to have for the product? So that you can decide with the help of the business research. Then managing the cost. Now in this managing the cost, so you should also understand that business research can be done to manage the cost of the company also. Suppose there is one A company who can produce the same product with the very low cost price, then why can't we do so? So what is the kind of technology they are using? What is the kind of human resource they are using? And how they are able to reduce the wastages? All this can be learned with the help of business research, and the same thing can be implemented in this organization also, and in this way we can manage the cost of the business. Then next one is assisting managers in decision making process. Suppose there is one company X which has reduced the prices of its products by 1 rupee. Then what will be the next step? The people will expect the product reduced by the same way. So in this way we should know what is the kind of decision the manager has to take. Then that can be taken with the help of business research. Then next one is evaluating market trends. So through the business research we can evaluate the market trend. What is the customer's taste, what is the customer's preferences, and how the customer is changing his fashions, his styles, etc. So all this can be done with the help of the business research. Then next one is achieving competitive advantage. So we should know that with the help of business research only we can have the competitive advantage. We can know our rivals' weaknesses, his strengths, etc. when we do the business research, and we can make it convert it into an opportunity, and in this way we can have a competitive advantage over our rivals. Then next, the limitations. Now what are the limitations of business research? The first one is the time constraints. Now what is time constraints? So we should understand that business research is a long drawn time consuming process. So whenever there are more number of respondents to be interviewed, then it will take a very long time for us to contact all of them and then collect the information from them. So it is a time consuming process. So it may take any time between 3 to 6 months to conduct to collect the information from the respondents. Then second one is availability of data. So the research also depends on what kind of a data it is available for our research. So what kind of information you need? So if the information you need has to be collected first hand, or if it is the primary data which you have to collect, then it will take a longer time. But then if they rely on the secondary source, it may not be so very reliable. So there may be difficulties in data collection. Then third one is reliability of data. Now what do we mean by reliability of data? So the data what we are having, suppose you decide to see that you are making use of the secondary data, then it may not be so very reliable. So if your data is not reliable, then the result of the research also may not be reliable. So that becomes one more limitation here. Then cooperation of management and employees. So whenever you are conducting the business research, we need to have the cooperation of the management and the employees, and then lastly the knowledge of the research tools. So this becomes very, very important. So what are the research tools? So you need to know what are the statistical tools you need to follow, or you need to use in order to analyze the research. So you should have a very good statistic techniques to know what kind of a result you want to give. So all these are the limitations of this business research. Then next, let us look into the role of business research. So first one is, it is a very good decision making tool. Research is useful for taking marketing management decisions. It provides necessary information and data, is analyzed and processed for making marketing decisions. So it is a very good decision making tool because it helps the management to take proper decisions. It provides necessary information and data which can be analyzed, processed and made use of by the management. The second one is management planning. Research is used for management planning. It deals with marketing opportunities, those opportunities which are viable to be exploited by management. Thus, management can assess the resources that will be useful for the business. So, we should understand that management planning. So, whenever the management has an opportunity, it should make use of this opportunity so that it can be exploited by the management for its own benefit. So, management can assess the resources that will be useful for the business. Then, next one is problem solving. So, it is useful to identify the problems of business and the formulation of alternative solutions. So, whenever business research is being done, it is useful to identify the problems of the business. So, it will help us identify what are the problems, and also it will help us to form various alternative solutions. Then next one is the control technique. It is used as a control technique of management to find out the weaknesses and shortcomings of the management decisions, to reorient the planning and performance techniques. So, this business research is also nowadays used by the management as a control technique. So, what kind of a control technique? So, it will make use of the research to find out the weaknesses and shortcomings of the management decision. So, it will know once the management has taken the decision, it will conduct research based on that decision, and then it will know whether that kind of a decision is good for the company or bad for the company. So, it will now assess the weaknesses and shortcomings of the management decisions and reorient the planning and performance techniques. So, it will try to reorient. So, if the decision previously taken is not correct, then what is the next step we have to do? So, make a correction of the decision and then do the planning again. So, in this way, it can be used as a control technique by the management. So, with this, we come to the end of this session. Hope you have all followed it. Thank you.